Hi, my name is Shelly, and I'm going to be doing a video series called the Crayon Files. It's basically going to be basic science for dummies. Now, I'm not trying to say my fellow theists are dummies. What I am trying to say, though, is I do believe that in some areas of science and scientific endeavors, and just the basic terminology, there's a few misunderstandings. Over on the left side, you will be able to find several definitions for words like evolution, theory, as well as in future videos I'll be doing will be on speciation, the history of evolution. It's not just Charles Darwin anymore, kids, as well as many other such videos. And why arguing with logical fallacies such as the God of the Gaps principle does not do any justice whatsoever for God, as well as a brief overview of the scientific method, and you should not be scared of it. Now, on to one little pet peeve of mine is the intelligent design people that like to point out some of the problems in science nowadays. Well, that's part of science, you might say. And you know what? Part of the scientific method is being able to argue a counterpoint to the evidence presented, an hypothesis. And that's fine. That's the way science works. But you know what? If anywhere in your equation it said God didn't or a creator didn't, that automatically nullifies the rest of the argument, because of the simple fact that by saying that God did it, that means that you can't retest that, because miracles in and of themselves can't be tested or retested. And it even says in the Bible, don't test God. Basically, don't go drink acid and go, oh, God will save me. God doesn't work like that, does he? Now, the reason that these videos are kind of important for my fellow theists is because of the simple fact that you guys go on in the rooms and blather. And then if I read something or I watch something and I want to talk about it with people, I got to spend 20 minutes saying why I'm not some creation dum-dum. So I figured the best thing to do would be to actually make a video series explaining the basic rudimentaries of evolution. My theory isn't about sports. The history of evolution, in that it's not just Charlie Darwin, and why God does not factor into science. He can easily be factored in. There are literally thousands of scientists in the world that believe in a higher being, and God, if you will. But when God goes into science, science goes away from God. So, in closing, I hope everyone will enjoy the Crayon Files, and if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, or something that you would like looked up for you, please leave comments down below or send me a PM or an email, and I will gladly look them up and put them into the next Crayon Files. So until next time, stay safe, stay frosty. Peace.
I have not come across any book which says fact of evolution. All the books say theory of evolution. There is no book I have come across saying fact of evolution.
No branch of creationism has ever met even one of the criteria required of a theory. They can't, because science demands both accuracy and accountability. So there has to be a way to detect and correct any errors in a given explanation and determine for certain whether it's wrong in whole or in part, or whether any of it is true to any degree at all.
We must require that evolution agree with all the facts if it is to be promoted from theory to truth. Evolution as an explanation for the origin of man cannot pass this test.
Nothing would ever be promoted to truth, because truth implies there's nothing more to learn. That's why science, being objective, demands that everything be considered theory, no matter how proven it seems to be. Evolution has survived every test the greatest minds of the modern age have ever been able to pit against it. It's been demonstrated myriad ways with lab and field experiments, and is further enhanced by compounded revelations in paleontology and systematics, as well as developments in embryology and advances in genomic research and bioengineering. Evolution is now one of the strongest theories in science. There is no fact it doesn't agree with, and it's never failed any test. But sadly, those controlling education in the southern United States don't want students to know that. So what can you expect?
I don't believe personally that the evolution itself is anything more than a theory.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Well, you see, evolution is a theory, not a scientific fact as it's generally considered to be.
It is a fact that evolution happens, that biodiversity and complexity does increase, that both occur naturally only by evolutionary means. It is a fact that alleles vary with increasing distinction in reproductive populations and that these are accelerated in genetically isolated groups. It is a fact that natural selection, sexual selection, and genetic drift have all been proven to have predictable effect in guiding this variance. It is a fact that significant beneficial mutations do occur and are inherited by descendant groups and that multiple independent sets of biological markers exist to trace these lineages backwards through many generations. It is a fact that birds are a subset of dinosaurs the same way humans are a subset of apes, primates, eutherian mammals, and vertebrate deuterostome animals. It is a fact that the collective genome of all animals has been traced back to its most basal form, and that these forms are also indicated by comparative morphology, physiology, and embryological development. It is a fact that everything on Earth has definite relatives either living nearby or evident in the fossil record. It is a fact that the fossil record holds hundreds of definitely transitional species even according to its strictest definition, and that both microevolution and macroevolution have been directly observed. Evolution is a fact.